Hey everybody, Chris with Four Directions Bushcraft. Today I want to go over a hand drill set and some of the tricks that I use. I'm just in the park today, so you might hear a car come by, but just wanted to go over some of the tricks that I use for my hand drill set. It's going to be basically just like my my bow drill set, but smaller. I use white pine again for my hearth board, and I got a couple of pieces of mullein here. This one was already burnt out and dried when I harvested it, and this one I harvested the flowers and the leaves, and I dried them out for my own use. And also then I dried this out, so it's a little bit greener. And then this one is brown already, dried out by nature. This is the one I'm going to use today. You know, I don't know why. I mean, I could use this one too, but actually we'll try to use the green one. And so I'm just going to smooth this out and get all these notches on here off of here so they don't tear up my hands. There's a couple of different tricks that I've learned to make this a little easier. Obviously you want this as straight as you can, as straight as it can be. I think the other one's a little bit straighter, that's why I wanted to use it, but let's try this one out and see if we can't get a coal with this one. Again, mullein has the pithy center in it. That also helps with getting your temperature up, so you can create that coal. Just scraping my knife across here. As far as which end to use, this is the thicker end that would be in the ground for the plant. This is the thinner end. I like to use the thinner end down on the hearth board. The reason I do that is because I don't have to work as hard. I get more revolutions with as I go down with the skinny part. I get more revolutions as I spin. So to me it makes more sense in that. People sometimes use the thicker end down. That way as they go down, their hands bite into it better, because it does wear your hands out and you'll get some blisters from this, depending on how long you do it, of course. I remember I was watching a video on Les Stroud, and he was doing this on Survivor Man. I'm sure some of you guys have seen this. And he says to slap your hands together after you do this. That cuts down on blisters. It creates, it causes more circulation to go back into your hands. Of course, that's never worked for me. I always end up getting the blisters. But anyway, what we want with this end that we're going to put on the hearth board is we want it to be blunt, just like our bow drill. And so I'm going to cut it flat. And then I'm just going to shape it up. I don't want, you know, shaping it up causes crowns in the top of this, and I want to cut off any of them crowns. I want it to be as round and flat as possible because I want more friction out of it. I want it to rest on the board with more friction. So all these little details count. It's pretty meticulous. You have to really pay attention to detail with this just like you do the bow drill sets. Just when you think you've mastered this, it seems as if you can't get it started that day for some reason, you know. So I try to do this part right the first time. That way you can get your coal the first time. My hearth board is going to be set up the same as my bow drill. I'm going to burn this in. I'm going to cut the notch. I'm going to flare the bottoms out of the notch so my coal has a base to stand on. I'm going to go about a quarter of a way into my notch, or into my divot with my notch. My notch is going to go a quarter of the way in. So I got that just dulled out, flat. I got this thinned out, smoothed out. My hearth board, I got this squared off. This is the edge I'm going to cut my notch into. I don't have my notch done yet. I have a little guideline here where I want to put my notch. And so I'm just going to create it by this first. Just by running my knife in here first. Just making a good divot so I can burn it out. Alright, now that we got a decent divot in there, we'll try to burn it out real quick. Another trick I use is I like my notch towards me. That way I can see it filling up with dust. Another technique I also learned is to stand kind of like you're doing your bow drill. I use this stance with my knee up, and I tuck this elbow in. That way I can crouch down and go up and down like this. That tends to help me get some leverage, downward pressure when I see that smoke. Because I'm just going to sit here for a while until I do get some dust built up and some smoke built up. And then I'm going to go ahead and really rock it out with the speed and the downward pressure when I know I'm going to have enough dust. A lot of people do a kind of this motion where they rock their hands back and forth. I think Les Stroud also called it like the itsy bitsy spider motion. That allows you to stay in one place. You don't have to go up and stop, or down and then stop and then come back up, down, stop and come back up. You can kind of stay in the same spot. Now I haven't got that technique down really well yet. I still find myself, I kind of start like that, and then once I get into it, I just kind of, I go all the way down, then I stop and come back up. So obviously if you can get that down, you can stay in one spot and you don't have that pause, you know. So you don't have that pause, and therefore you don't have you can build up more heat faster. There's a little breeze out here today. I'm hoping big breeze. Hoping it doesn't affect me. It will. So let's try to burn this out. A lot of people, they'll spit on their hands and kind of moisten their hands up. That gives us, or that gives you grip on your piece of mullein. So we got some smoke built up now. I like the smell of mullein burning. So I just want to prop this up on here. I don't want to get that tip wet, of course. And so we just burnt that in. Now I'm going to cut my notch. Again, I only want my notch to go in 1/4 of the way. And then I'm going to do 1/4 on this side and 1/4 on this side with my flare. And then I'm going to flare out the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that, and then I'll get back to you. I went ahead and cut my notch, flared it out on the back side. So we're going to go ahead and try that. Again, I like my notch towards me so I can see the dust filling up. Give your hands a little moisture. Gonna get my hearth board to sit straight. Always wants to try to lean over. You want it to be level, of course. So I'm just gonna do it real easy for right now to try to build up that dust and build up the temperature. I'm already seeing some smoke. Downward pressure and some speed. Okay, so we have a good coal here. It's smoking on its own. So you carve your bow or carve your hand drills up like that. You know, ease into it. Get that that dust pile built up. Once you see that smoke and you get a good dust pile built up, then go ahead and lay into it with your speed and downward pressure. So anyway, those are some of the tricks to my hand drill fire. Sorry, I'm losing my voice. Those are some of the tricks to my hand drill fires and my hand drill kits. And it's going to take you some time and effort. I consider the bow drill a much easier way of doing it. You got that mechanical advantage, definitely. But go out, get you some mullein, dry it out, or harvest it dried already. Mullein is what I've always used. white pine, and cut your notch like that. Allow yourself a pretty big notch. I mean, that's my hand drill set. That's a pretty big notch there. That way that dust can collect. It's gonna wear your hands out, it's gonna wear you out as well, but it's a heck of a challenge, and it's a good skill to know that for your self-reliance, in case you never know. You need to go out and do this. So you want to be able to know, have the tools, know the tools, and get yourself a coal and get yourself a fire. You never know, you might need it. It's gonna wear you out. It's gonna wear your hands out for sure. You'll never take a Bic lighter for granted again, I'll tell you that. And go out and practice. And this is Chris, 4 Directions Bushcraft, and I'll see you on the next one. Have a good day, guys.